Hello, buddy. Welcome back to Tin Man's Court channel. I'm your host, Jeffrey Tin Man Taylor. Today I'm reacting my final Chillin' Scares video for you guys. And this was titled 8 Most Disturbing Things Caught on Doorbell Camera Footage Vol.5. So without further ado, I'm going to turn these lights off, move the camera up here for you guys, and let's get this reaction on the road and in the bag, shall we? Okay, here we go.
This footage was captured in Flint, Michigan on April 24th, 2023.
Okay.
The house had two Ring cameras, one above the garage and the other was a Ring doorbell camera. Around 10 p.m., a man in a red jacket and another person just behind him are shown walking up to the house's front door. Before knocking or ringing the doorbell, the man in the jacket immediately starts trying to break down the door.
That tells you right there, they're not here to make a house call visit with you. They're here to break in and steal some stuff from you. Man, if you're not home and if you see this footage on your Ring camera app, call the cops immediately.
The Ring camera falls to the ground from the impacts, but the door itself doesn't budge. After those few seconds, the man walks around to the house's side door and again immediately starts trying to break it down. By this point, the homeowner had woken up in a panic and was checking their camera's feed for an explanation. They noticed their doorbell camera on the ground, and so they switched over to their other camera. As the banging noise rang out throughout the house, they could now see what was causing it.
That would be terrifying just to hear a banging noise while you're sleeping, and then you go to your Ring doorbell camera and find out that one of them is on the ground and the other one is recording two men trying to break in the house. You either get on the Ring camera microphone and say, "Hey, I'm calling the cops," and scare them away, or call the cops immediately and see if they can get there quick enough to catch some guys before they decide to give up and run.
The homeowner's voice coming over the speaker was enough to scare the two men off. Police were called out to the property. When they reviewed the footage, they noted that one of the men was armed. What these two men planned to do with the people inside if they had successfully broken in is unknown. It's unclear if they were ever identified by police.
I'm surprised you won't be able to identify him, but the guy with the red jacket was stupid enough to keep turning his face towards the Ring camera on the front porch every time he tried to kick in the door and was unsuccessful. You could tell who he is, but the other guy was smart enough to wear a face mask covering over his nose and mouth just so you wouldn't be able to recognize him easily. But if you catch the guy with the red jacket, he'll probably say who the other guy is, or you catch them both red-handed and arrest them. But they probably would have broken in and either kidnapped or robbed the people in that house. But thankfully, they couldn't get in, and the voice of the owner scared them away. So let's go to doorbell camera footage number 2.
This clip was captured at 3 in the morning on April 9th, 2023. It happened in Albuquerque, New Mexico. The homeowner was sleeping when the clip was recorded. It wasn't until he woke up and saw a notification on his phone that he found out about it. He reviewed the footage, horrified. This is what he saw. A woman is shown trying multiple different keys to get into the house and even looking around for a hidden one.
It looked like she got bruised right here on the nose, so she must have gotten into a fight with somebody and she can't remember where she lives at, it seems like. Or she's just messed up on drugs that she ain't thinking clearly and doesn't realize that's not her house. And plus, you see her try to get the key inside the key lock, but she keeps going near the doorbell camera, so she don't even know where the lock is at. And that's not even the key. That's just a revolver keychain. Man, this woman must be baked out of her mind, and she don't even know that.
The homeowner claimed that he had never seen this woman before. He said that she later started throwing rocks at his car and trying those locks. It's likely she was under the influence of something. Multiple times she tries to insert keys into the doorbell camera itself. After a few minutes, she walks off and was never seen on the property again. Her intentions are unknown.
Yeah, she's all so far gone on drugs there that she thought that she was trying to enter her home because she don't belong there.
Walter Hickox is a homeowner in Daytona Beach, Florida. His home is set out in a wooded section of the city. In January of 2022, Walter was taking his 3 dogs out onto the porch when he noticed one of them intently looking at something outside. The dogs suddenly start running to the left side of the camera, and that's when Walter realizes they were looking at a black bear. The bear climbs over a protective railing as it goes for the dogs.
Oh, that would be scary. Just imagine you trying to enjoy a nice, peaceful night on the porch, and all of a sudden a bear just happened to come out of the woods and was going to attack your dogs. Yeah, I'll be like hollering at it, be like, get out of here, get! And if that don't work, I don't know what will if you don't have no bear spray on you. Because if you try to attack it and that thing gets aggressive, you'll be going down with a lot of scars.
With barely any time to process what he was seeing, Walter lunges at the bear as it goes for his dogs. He manages to push it back before he shoves a nearby chair in the doorway, preventing it from attacking again. He yells out that he was attacked by a bear as he brings his dogs back inside.
Oh my God! I just attacked my bear! Oh my God! When I had time to just sit and just stare, it all hit me, and I started bawling. I couldn't believe how close to death I was, and I did it for my dog.
Walter received minor injuries from the bear. His dogs didn't receive any injuries.
Man, I feel your pain right there, because if I had dogs and the bear just tries to lunge at them, I would have done the same thing. That is a life or death situation. But thankfully he acted quickly and got that bear scared to go away, and he moved that porch bench over near the door. But man, I wished he had like a screen door or something right there he can lock just to keep that bear from walking near that porch when the dogs are out. But with a bear's strength, they could probably rip that door right off the hinges. But thankfully he was okay and didn't get harmed to where it was life-threatening.
This homeowner in Texas got a knock at their door for a DoorDash delivery around 1:20 in the morning. Only the homeowner hadn't ordered DoorDash. She was sleeping. It was only her and her nephew in the home at the time. She remembers waking up to a metal clinking sound, but didn't think much of it until she noticed damage to the outside of her house the next morning. This caused her to look back at her cameras, both the footage from her doorbell camera and the one she had set up in her backyard. This is what she saw.
DoorDash.
The first video isn't as concerning. A woman standing at the door claiming to be with DoorDash from 1:20 a.m. to 2 a.m. This could be written off as a determined delivery driver that unknowingly had the wrong address.
Right. I'll be going over the speaker, be like, excuse me, ma'am, I didn't order anything from DoorDash. Check your address on your app.
But it was the backyard footage that was genuinely concerning. At 2 a.m., 4 men got into the backyard and tried to gain entry into the home through a window. It's likely they planned on entering through the front door by ambushing the person that opened it for the DoorDash delivery. But when no one answered, they resorted to trying the backyard while the fake DoorDash deliverer stayed out front as a distraction. However, fortunately, the men would be unsuccessful and are shown running away from the house on the backyard camera.
I figured the DoorDash lady had to be a diversion just for them guys to ambush whoever opens the door. But since they didn't come to the door right away, they tried to go to the backyard, but then they couldn't get in. They just said, let's just get out of here. But man, I'll be using that footage to get cops involved, but there probably ain't nothing they can do with these guys because they're covering their heads pretty good. But with the DoorDash driver, they can question her. If they find her, that is.
The four men and the woman at the front door were all seen leaving the area together in a dark-colored sedan. They were never caught by police.
Oh, dang. I was hoping somebody reported them and they were able to be found, but they probably ditched the van and took the clothes that they were wearing off and put some other clothes on and blended back in with society. You never know. Dang, these crooks are too sneaky nowadays. Sometimes they mess up and then, cops find them automatically, but sometimes they're never ever going to be found, it seems like.
In June of 2019, multiple homes in Chicago got a visit from a man claiming to be an investigator known as Jeff Rushmore. The only problem is that man doesn't exist. He was impersonating an investigator with the local police department, fully equipped with a fake uniform, a fake badge, and fake police radio chatter. This Ring camera caught him performing the act.
Can you open the door? 26 got en route. So far, case 21 is going to be the sixth person. 9-3 North Villa. North Villa looks like PD is with them. They can have some custody.
Yeah, I wouldn't buy that at all either, because if you look very closely at his badge, I can't even tell if it's metal or not, and it barely has any identifying information that they're really involved with the local police. And plus, you could buy any of those radios with the walkie-talkie attachments, like at a Radio Shack or wherever those radios are sold at. And plus, you wouldn't be carrying it in your suit unless you have one of them walkie-talkies with the antenna on it. That's it. So that's a red flag right there. And also, this supposed investigator, he's not wearing a necktie. I mean, that looks like he's doing a sloppy interpretation. At that point, I'll be asking him his badge number and his name, what rank, or like where he's working at, just so I could tell if he's a real investigator or not.
The homeowner doesn't answer the door, yet the man stays in character, even faking a call back reporting the unresponsive homeowner. Another home in the area equipped with a Ring doorbell camera shows the same man. This time the homeowner does open the door.
Hi, sorry to bother you so late. Rushmore with the Winfield Police Department. I'm an investigator. When your neighbors down the street reported a missing...
The video cuts out there. The man explains a missing person case, and when the homeowner says he doesn't know anything about it, the interaction ends. The motives behind him impersonating an investigator are unknown. Often there are cases like this where the man is simply trying to get people to open their door thinking they're safe, but proceed to rob them, or sometimes worse. However, he doesn't do this. No one knows his motives. One commenter said, "I honestly believe he was testing the waters, and as he felt more confident, he would have escalated from getting people to open their door to entering into people's homes to only God knows what next." According to recent documents, the man was never identified.
You mean to tell me that with this Ring doorbell camera footage at both places, you're not able to get a facial ID on him and see if you could track him down? Unbelievable. I hate to even imagine that he got this person's trust, walked in with them, and then kept the conversation going for a little bit until he finally gives up the act, robs them, or tries to convince them to come with him for kidnapping purposes. You just don't know. But Chill and Scares did not find out any information about that. But that would be creepy just to see somebody come up to your door dressed like a investigator. And if you don't know anything about a kidnapping, then you know automatically that's a lie. Something's off. I mean, if an investigator or a police officer their badge to you, or what rank they are in the police department, then something would be off and fishy.
This video was captured in Kansas City. The doorbell footage shows a man appearing on the left side of the screen and climbing on the guardrail. He was trying to stay out of frame as he attempted to take the Ring camera off of the home. Inside the home was a woman and her son. The man was the woman's ex-boyfriend. He failed to remove the cameras, so he left, but returned 30 minutes later. This time he had a cloth to cover the camera. Three minutes later, the homeowner's son ran into her room, frantic, telling her their car was on fire. Police and firefighters were called to the scene, but not before the fire destroyed their car and most of their home. Marianne, an expert in abusive relationships, responded with, "Abusive relationships are about power and control, and when that power and control is taken away or it's minimized, then what we see is those efforts are escalated to try and get them back." Police are currently looking for the homeowner's ex-boyfriend seen in the video.
Man, if she had a notification on her phone, I would have been yelling, "You better get away right now, I'm calling the cops," and then he'll run, instead of doing that whole plan of burning her car. That shows you that he was mad that they broke up and he wanted revenge. His little antics are not going to make her agree to get back with him. He's going to prison if he was caught.
This happened in April of 2023 in a wooded section of Asheville, North Carolina. The homeowner of this house got a notification saying motion was detected at her front door. She opened the app on her phone and saw 3 bears on her front porch. They were tearing open a package that had recently been delivered. Inside the package was dog food, which they easily would have been able to smell. The homeowner opened her door and confronted the animals, trying to scare them off.
You see, if you get a package delivered and it's dog food, you better bring that inside right away, because you don't want no animals like bears to come up and start tearing at the package and eating the food inside. And if they're hungry bears, they might turn desperate and are more prone to attack you. You got to be careful with that.
The bears take one of the 2 bags of dog food inside the package. They're seen on the right side of the screen with the bag in their mouth as they walk off.
At that point, I'd be calling game wardens to go out there and confront those bears, see if they can grab that dog food bag back. But if they start ripping into it and eating it, it's a lost cause. You just order another one. But this is why you don't keep food, especially dog food, on your porch to where an animal can sniff it out and come up there to grab it. Might as well call these bears the dog food bandits.
This footage was captured at night just before 2 a.m. It shows a man ringing the doorbell to this home in Rochester, New York. Immediately after, he hides behind a parked car. He's seen crouched down, holding some kind of club in his hand, breathing heavily and sweating profusely. He nervously looks back and forth from out at the street to back at the house's front door.
Yeah, it just seems like this guy is ready to attack the homeowner if they got found. But hey, you shouldn't have been breaking into their house to begin with. And plus, hiding behind a car that has a Ring doorbell camera next to it is a bad move. That gives people further evidence to show that you were planning on doing something.
The man clearly looks to be on something. When he realizes no one was going to answer the door, he walks away. Another minute passes when a voice yells out that the police are on their way. It's unclear whose voice this is. There are two main possibilities here. Either this man was hiding from someone for one reason or another, and he was trying to get inside a house so that he wouldn't be found, the voice being the person he was hiding from. Or he was trying to bait the homeowner into opening the door, where he then planned to do who knows what. The voice here being a concerned neighbor that saw what he was doing. Either way, the man most likely did not have the best intentions.
I'll say he looked like he was up to no good. Maybe he was trying to lure a homeowner out and he was going to probably hit him, or he was hiding from someone else, but we'll never know. Luckily, the neighbor might have saw him up to no good and scared him off by saying, "The police are coming," but that guy might have been messed up in the head somewhat. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, turn on special notifications for more Chilling Scares content like this. This has been another successful installment of the 10 Man Score channel. I'm your host, Jeffrey 10 Man Tater, and I said that's a wrap, and have a nice day, buddy.